I'm Roger Wood for Work Opportunities Unlimited with another in our series, Sounds of Success, true stories of how our valued teammates have created success in the workplace every day. Lauren Coffey works with clients and employers in the Lowell, Worcester, Massachusetts market for Work Opportunities Unlimited. She's been with them for over a year now.
I like helping people. I like interaction with people, and helping people is definitely one of the main points of why anybody would go into a human services field. Right now, I work with about 25 clients, and that's a mixture of both SEP and VR clients. SEP is supported employment, and those referrals come from the Department of Mental Retardation, and VR is vocational rehabilitation, and they come from Massachusetts Rehabilitative Commission. Supported employment needs a little bit more support than VR clients do.
One of Lauren Coffey's successful clients is a young man named Andrew.
Andrew worked at TJ Maxx, and he had some challenges at work. He's on the autism spectrum, so he tends to, stare at people and ask a lot of questions, things that people wouldn't normally ask. It's part of the autism spectrum, and he had some challenges there, and we thought that it was he thought that it was a good time for him to move on to something else. So we found him a new placement that really allows him to work hard and enjoy what he does.
It actually took several months for the Work Opportunities Unlimited team to find Andrew a new position with the best fit.
Yeah, we got together. We worked on his career plan. We did job developing together. We set up a couple mock interviews. He had some challenges with interviewing, staring, asking inappropriate questions. He tends to talk a lot about clothing and dress code and things like that, which can come across as inappropriate at a job interview, but we went over those things. We did some practice interviewing. We had a blitz, which is when people from outside the area that work for Work Opportunities come in together, and it was actually very successful. One of the places that we went to was Joanne Fabrics, where he works now, and we talked to the employer, and she was very interested in what we had to say, and I set up another meeting to talk more about Andrew and what kind of work he was looking for, and everything worked out great.
Can you tell me a little bit about the blitz that you were speaking of? This sounds like a pretty intensive search.
There's probably about 15 people, 15 CRSs. Steve Wood came, some of the other directors came, and we split off into groups in different areas in the Worcester area, and we had some interviews set up ahead of time, and we did some cold calling, which is just walking in and talking to employers. And Joanne's was just one of the places that we went to. You go in, you talk to the employers, you try to set up company interviews from that, which is what happened that day.
So he's been successful there, is that correct?
Yeah, he's been very successful. He was, at first, there was a lot of support on the job by me, and then, which is job coaching. And then we were able to fade off in just a few months because we found those natural supports that all of us look for when somebody starts in a job.
So you were able to end the process of continuous monitoring at some point?
Yes. Now what we do is just, weekly check-ins to make sure that the employer is happy, to make sure that Andrew's happy. There's a lot of communication involved now, but as for being on the job, really one-on-one support, he doesn't need that as much. He's working with some great managers there at Joanne Fabrics, and he has his schedule set up. We had some cards made up for him to help prompt him during the day to punch in and that sort of thing. His supervisor says that he is the most hardworking employee that she has. Andrew has a great work ethic. Yeah, they really enjoy having him there.
In this case, Lauren says persistence was the answer to finding the right job for Andrew.
Follow-up is really the best way to actually go about job developing. You can go into a bunch of places in one day and get nothing from it if you don't follow up with people that are really interested in hearing what you have to say. I think the lesson that is to be learned is that following what the individual wants, taking in consideration of what the individual needs. Very important if you want to be successful.
Lauren Coffey, part of Work Opportunities Unlimited's Sounds of Success. This footnote to the story: Joanne's was awarded Employer of the Year by the Massachusetts Department of Mental Retardation. I'm Roger Wood.